Hello and welcome to episode 55 of Dorki's Entropia Universe report. Before I move on to my avatar activities, avatar progress and deed returns for the week, I would like to share my opinion on the exploit that came to the attention of the wider Entropia Universe community recently. I am talking about the bugged Yog pet buff that was supposed to give speed bonus to mining excavators only, but it provided reload speed to weapons as a hidden bonus. If I understand how this worked correctly, it was having the reload speed effect, but did not count towards the reload speed cap from items. So people could max out their reload from items, pills, and then have 10 or 20% on top of that, depending on which Yog pet they had access to. It might seem like a relatively harmless bug until an event comes along. This sort of thing provides a significant advantage in any event where you need to kill mobs, as you can take down a lot more of them in the same time as the participants who are not using the same exploit. At least provided that both the cheater and the non-cheater invested in the same-ish gear for the event in question. So my guess is that just about everybody who knew about this bug and had a Yog pet with the buff unlocked, as well as access to proper hunting gear for their Mayhem category, was abusing the ever-living donkey out of it in every single Mayhem event they could. In other words, they were exploiting a bug with intent to make profit at the expense of all other competitors. It does not really matter if said cheater won their category or not. The intent to abuse the game and steal the prize from honest players was there. And this is the part where I will provide my opinion on what should be done about the cheaters, and then I will move on to other less depressing stuff. So, to put it simply, I do not think they should be permanently banned. However, I do think the punishment should be severe enough so that they can learn from this experience, and severe enough to discourage other would-be cheaters when the next exploitable bug finds its way into Entropia Universe. And sadly, I have no doubt that such bugs will pop up from time to time in the future. Actually, I would not be surprised if there were such bugs being exploited in-game right now, without the public at large or Mindark having a clue about it. Anyway, back to my thoughts on the suitable punishment for the cheaters. I think Mindark should make an effort to identify all avatars who used the Yog pet with the buff turned on inside the Mayhem instances since that pet was introduced into the game. If it is not possible, then I think they should investigate at least as far into the past events as they are able to, and then simply start by handing out bans for for few months to every single one of those players. Then in addition to that, I think they should take away prizes from everyone who won something in the event while using that bug. If the avatar in question already turned in the tokens and sold the item or items gained, then the money they gained should be taken from them. And in case of cheaters who just dumped their ill-gotten gains on avatars of their family and friends recently for symbolic prices, way under the market value for safekeeping just in case they get busted now, that the information about the exploit became public, I think Mindark should reverse those trades. Return whatever was traded for the item and take away the Mayhem stuff. There were some suggestions on the Planet Calypso forum that the skills of these cheaters should be reset or halved, same as was the case for Danny O. I think this might be a bit excessive, but I would not be unhappy if Mindark did it. And of course, I think these cheaters should be banned from all future events run by Mindark or any other Planet partner. Whatever the case, I do hope that resetting the scores for cheaters using these pets in this year's Summer Mayhem is not the entire scope of the punishment. If that is all that Mindark is going to do, then bugger them up the arse with a giant spiked instrument of pleasure. That being said, I am willing to give Mindark the benefit of the doubt for now, as they kept quiet and took a while to investigate in the Danny O's case as well before they came out with the statement about their investigation and handed out the punishment. If you are not familiar with the Danny O case, I will summarize it for you. He was caught using an item that is restricted to the official avatars only. Him and one other player were investigated and punished for it. Anyway, let's get to the regular Entropia Universe stuff now. I ended up planet hopping again. The original thought was to stay on Arcadia, do unamped mining and hunt some small mobs. However, then my loot turned sour and I just buggered off to Calypso, where I stayed for a bit, then fled to Monria due to bad loot, and repeated the process of getting violated by Lutius there. Afterwards I flew to Rocktropia, where I got very similar results before the loot finally got better. So Rocktropia is where I am right now. I will be doing some random stuff, including mining here for a while. I do not know how long, as I will probably change my plans the moment the loot goes horribly wrong. And stays that way for a bit too long. That being said, I did have a couple mining halves and some mining and hunting globals over the week. The biggest of my swirls was some 360 ped mining half. Although I did cycle through something like 8000 ped between the mining and hunting, so 2 small halves and few globals is nothing special to write home about. It is a rather pleasant change of pace for me though, as I usually just get a giant pile of nothing. Anyway, I gained about 300 points in Commando already, and my hit points went up to 228. I am now roughly halfway toward the 229th hit point, although I did switch to using Mind Force attack chips for a bit. Force Merge is another skill I would like to unlock, although I do not see myself doing a big grind to chase that one at this time. Anyway, I will see how the Rocktropian experience goes before I decide what to do next. But going back to Cyrene for some pleeks is certainly one of the options I am considering. By the way, I finally passed 343,000 total skill, and I am already missing only 486 points to reach 344k. On the investment side of things, everything seems to be affected by the Summer Mayhem right now. Arcadia Moondeeds were their usual disappointing self, with only one payout of 1 peg per deed. Arcadia Underground deeds paid out 4 times over the week, but all the payouts were for 1 peg per deed as well. I guess we will be stuck with poopy payouts for at least as long as the Summer Mayhem lasts. I guess the summer migration on Calypso will start shortly after the Mayhem ends. So it is possible that the bad returns on most deeds and shares will last as long as until the end of the migration. When it comes to shares, this week was one giant wet fart as well. Ancient Greece shares paid some total of nothing. I saw a lot of Gorgon armor parts being looted in the chat, as they seem to always pop up as a HOF. But apparently it is the case of them dropping like candy rather than drastically increased activity in the ancient Greece. Because those HOFs have been going on since the 17.2 version update, and yet the ancient Greece shares have not paid anything since. Anyway, Crystal Palace shares do not deserve any praise this week either. They only paid 1 peg per share. This is of course a lot better than 0 pegs per share, but still is lower than they usually pay out. It is understandable though, with the summer mayhem taking place right now. To conclude, the Yog Pet exploit came as a shock to me. Although I am glad it became public and was finally patched out. And I am also rather glad I have not been competing in mayhems so far, regardless of the fact that these cheaters have not affected my chances of winning anything. I think they should be punished severely. At least to the same extent, if not more so, than Danny O was for using an official only item. I think this because this particular exploit and its use was far more damaging to the community than a couple avatars using items they should not have access to for some cheap skilling and possibly profiting off of those skills. On the bright side, my avatar is progressing nicely in regards to skills. Hopefully I can match that progress with good loot someday soon. I did deposit a little so that I could actually play the game in active mode instead of just chopping wood, hunting pleaks and sweating. So I hope I can make that pad last as long as possible. Anyway, thank you for watching. I wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Please let me know what you think about the Yog Pet exploit and people who used it to get an advantage over others in events, or anything else that comes to your mind in the comments below. Also, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps a lot to keep me motivated to make more videos. Thank you.